as an L2 app chain, you might be thinking about, okay, users can just trust me not to front run them, right? So it's fine, right? They just trust me. I won't front run them. That's fine, right? But I think that's slightly short-sighted, because sort of just trusting an operator not to front run is not a sustainable kind of outlook for the future. And even sort of from the regulatory side, that trust component will probably at some point come with responsibility, right? So if you are able to front run and then do it, then it's like this very trustworthy role, which looks a little bit like like a bank or like an exchange in the real world. So regulators actually looking closely at this, and there's lots of statements from regulators in regards to MEV and front running. So I think that's another reason to look at MEV prevention, not just kind of from the practical perspective, but also from a kind of trust perspective, not wanting to have that responsibility, and also from the overarching base layer neutrality and censorship resistance perspective. Yeah. And then your question was about what is distributed key generation. So I think it's a really interesting tool. And specifically, so distributed key generation just means multiple parties collaborate to generate a key, right? But threshold encryption specifically is pretty interesting, because it allows this threshold to say any amount of k out of n can collaborate to generate these keys. And then another interesting property of this is that the result will always be the same no matter which k collaborate. And also another aspect of it is this way sort of you eliminate the free option problem or the last look problem. So if you don't have threshold encryption and you just have a distributed key generation mechanism, you will have sort of always a last party to be able to say, no, I don't want to submit the last key share, sort of, right? And then they can block the whole process or kind of extort the others and block the process, right? And they then have the free option, let's say, not to decrypt, which they can then exploit. But the cool thing about threshold encryption is there is never any single last party to do that, to have that step, because you always have a number of players. If you have like I don't know, let's say a 20 out of 50 threshold, you'll always have 30. Then you're, let's say, at 19 out of 20, right? So you have that kind of free option problem there. If you're at 19 signers going up, and then you just need one more, right, to get to the 20. You don't have just one party. It's not just the one leading to the 20, but it's essentially the 50 minus the 19, right? So it's 31 nodes. Any of them can do that last step, and it's extremely unlikely that all of these 31 entities are going to be malicious, essentially, right? That's a really cool property, and it can be exploited for all kinds of interesting purposes.